This guy uses his teleportation powers to clap around the world. Meet David Rice, a regular teen like you, who has a crush on a pretty girl, Millie, and can't score because he's too beta. The girl dreams of traveling the world, so Dave surprises her with a small gift, a snow globe of the Eiffel Tower. A real Eiffel Tower trip would be better, but as we're too young, this will have to work for now. So, your plays are mine. Unfortunately, a bully, Mark, ruins the moment. He grabs the globe and throws it into the icy river. Unfortunately, our beta boy is determined to walk the ice and get it back. Come on, bro. You can buy another one for $5. It isn't worth it. Frankly, she's probably not even worth $5. Of course, Dave ends up breaking the ice. He gets swapped out by the current. Well, guess I'll die, he thinks, when suddenly he finds himself on the library floor in a huge gush of gallons of water, gasping but alive. I would prefer a dance club, but as a lifesaver, anything will work. Dave gets home where his father schools him. I see you're soaking wet in the middle of winter, but could you mop the floor after yourself? Oh, you almost died? But what does the floor have to do with it? David hides from his mean father in his room, but then the angry alcoholic bursts in. Phew, Dave is gone. In the library again. Bro, it's the second time now. Can we please hit up a club next time? Dave finally realizes he has some ability to teleport. Like the first time wasn't enough. The library's closed, so Dave teleports back home and realizes his new powers can change his life. If his mom could run away, so could he. He gets some pocket money and a few belongings and goes out. Dave stops outside Millie's house. Poor girl cries. She is sure her friend's own buddy is dead. She hears a noise outside, steps cautiously out into the yard, and finds the snow globe sitting on the swing set. Ghosts? Nah, girl knows Dave is alive. But our man is dedicated to changing his life and moving on. That's an alpha move right there. The next day, Dave is on a bus to the big city, where he rents a cheap room. The place looks worse than a hobo's box, but he loves it. The first apartment always feels special. Dave practices teleporting in the park, learning how to control his power. Oh, please tell me you won't become some silly superhero, and you'll just rob some banks instead. And yes, he does. Luckily, he's a 15-year-old hothead without any conscience yet. He studies the local bank, then teleports in the vault in the middle of the night. So much cash that he has to take a few trips there. Perfect. Finally, his small room is full of it, so he lies on a bed of cash. Huel moment. The next day, someone named Roland from NSA, not secret anymore, appears at the bank investigation. Lock-the-door robbery is just a regular day for him. He asks for clients' names and videotapes today, so the teen hunt begins. And it's not so successful. Years have passed, and David is now older and enjoys luxury living in New York. His whole apartment is covered with pictures of his world travels, and he has a small vault room full of money. Mr. Beast style. Actually, regular travel blogger style. He enjoys clapping girls in London, surfing in Fiji, lunching atop the Sphinx in Egypt, and doing war crimes in Cambodia. The guy is so lazy that he prefers to teleport rather than take 2 steps. Guess that explains the number of automobile fans. Never understood it. Why have a car and drive somewhere when you can sit at home 24/7? Talking about war crimes, Roland here is also a big fan of those. He hunts down some teleporter, or as they call them, jumper, and brutally claps him, because only God should have the power to be everywhere. Yes, that's his real motto. Roland gets a hint on the bank robbery case. Nice job. Only 8 years have passed. Dave gets to his home and finds Roland. We learn that Roland's mission in life is to clap jumpers, because I guess he hates his life. David tries to jump away, but Roland electrifies him and beats the hell out of the fella. Dave tries to jump again, but the electricity messes up his brain. Roland demands answers. Who's helping you, boy? Somehow, David teleports to his stash, grabs some cash, then teleports to his boyhood bedroom. His father hears it and comes to the bedroom door, begging him to stay. Clapping girls across the globe or staying with your dumb father? See ya, Dad. But something clicked in the guy's brain. Maybe this was Roland and the fear of getting caught, or maybe he just clapped too many girls in those 8 years. But he decided to visit his crush, Millie. He finds her in the same town, working at a bar. Okay, you saw her. It's time to leave. Perfect. If only everyone could stop themselves from meeting their ex. Trust me, you don't have this problem if you don't have an ex. Dave tries to leave and stumbles on some redneck. Oh, that's Mark, the bully. Mark is happy to see Dave, but Dave isn't, for some reason. Mark screams so loud that Millie hears it and greets Dave. Darn it. Drunk Mark goes pushy on Millie, like he never had a chance to score for all those 8 years. So Dave punches him in the face. Saw your ex and punched a high school bully in front of her? Pretty cool, but Dave wants more. How about going out? Mark goes for revenge. They fight, and Dave teleports him into a bank vault and leaves him there. Classy crime. Blame it on the baby Mark. Dave returns to the bar where he lets Millie treat his wounds. After a small talk, he offers her to visit Rome. The girl is shocked, but it was a lifelong dream of hers, and there's not much to lose in this crappy old bar, so why not? Meanwhile, Roland visits Mark. He finds out Millie left to Rome with Dave. Some good job Roland has, traveling the world for our tax money. If you think about it, it's even better than robbing a bank and teleporting anywhere you want. Our lovebirds enjoy some tourist stuff in Rome and then enjoy themselves. They get to the Colosseum and find out it's closed. Bummer. But no is not an answer for Dave, so he sneaks around the corner. They go down to the stadium floor and Dave jumps to open a door from the inside. Whoa, who's that dude pissing on the ancient statues? That's another jumper named Griffin, who informs Dave that he's not the only one and there are more jumpers and paladins who hunt jumpers. Paladins, what a lovely name. For an RPG maybe. Suddenly, a group of paladins arrive and attack our jumpy buddies. Griffin is better prepared, so he playfully kicks their butts and teleports away. David follows follow Griffin's teleport to his lair, asking questions. Griffin is shocked Dave can do this, and he asks him to leave, reminding him there's his girl in trouble. Dave returns, gets Millie out of the Coliseum, and is immediately arrested by police. He tells Millie to return to the hotel, but she refuses. Hours later, David is still being questioned by the police, who are holding him and his passport until some other authorities arrive. Hey, that's probably unconstitutional. Those Europeans. Suddenly, a woman appears, telling Dave to get out and abandon his girl. Oh wait, that's his mom. What a surprise. Dave finds Millie and takes her to the airport, then explains sadly that he cannot return home with her. Why? Well, in real countries like the United States of America, people do need passports. The girl keeps asking questions, so Dave shows her a bag of money, and she gets silenced, because that's how it works with the girls. Meanwhile, Roland finds out that the Paladins failed to trap the jumpers. He visits David's father and finds out Dave's mother left them when the kid was only 5. Yeah, that's about the age when kids start to get annoying. I think that's why my dad left. David returns to ask Griffin more questions. We learn that jumpers and Paladins have a beef since the medieval age, and Paladins are religious fanatics that hunt them and kill everyone they love, family and friends, which isn't very nice. So his dad and girlfriend are the following targets. Dave teleports to his father to find him laying on the floor. Crying, he teleports his father to a hospital emergency room, trying to get help for him. He teleports to see Mark in jail, asking what he told Roland. Everything. Why? Well, why not? Fair enough. David comes back to Griffin to ask for his help finding Roland, but he refuses. Nah, the man is too dangerous. I've been searching for him for 10 years and he almost killed me a few times. But David wants to team up with Griffin. I guess he already forgot about his girlfriend. He follows him and jumps, trying to convince him. Griffin steals a car and they ride together. Griffin teleports the car around, so the action looks like Tokyo Drift. Well, this does take place in Tokyo. The Jump Street boys exchange some bits of information. David shares his mother left when he was 5, which grabs Griffin's attention. Finally, Griffin agrees to help David with a limited engagement to clap Roland. They get to the Detroit airport and find out Millie's flight had arrived an hour before. The team splits up after seconds of being together. That's a bad sign. Dave teleports to Millie's apartment. The girl asks him to leave, but Roland and his attack squad arrive before he can even think about explaining anything. So he just shows. Not shocking at all. Dave manages to teleport her to Griffin's lair, and Griffin is furious. Now Roland can directly follow his teleport. Griffin prepares to abandon his home, but Roland appears, catching Dave and getting ready to slice him down. Griffin interrupts, and the top 10 anime battle begins. At one point, Griffin teleports a bus at Roland, who manages to dive underneath it as it bounces. Whoa, that's what I call action. David is trapped, missing all the fun. Millie frees David and rages at him. I can see why. She demands that he just take her home and leave her alone. Classic woman moment. Griffin gets back with the Paladin's machine, so they can't teleport back. Still, those nasty Paladins act like Khajiits, capturing Millie through a warm hole. Griffin plans to take a bomb to Millie's apartment to kill Roland. He understands that he will kill everyone else out there and Millie too, but he's fine. Not like it's his girl. Griffin shares that Roland killed his parents when the young lad was 5. And David's mom left when he was 5. Coincidence? But Dave is against killing his crush. Of course he is. So the two teleport around the world fighting over the bomb, then over the detonator, falling from the Empire State Building and appearing in the place that's currently at war in real life, where David finally traps Griffin in fallen power lines. David returns to Millie's apartment, knowing he's falling into a trap. Well, he indeed gets trapped. What a surprise. David has Millie with him and tries to jump the walls to free themselves. The construction begins to rip apart, and the roof shatters as the apartment disappears from under it. He teleports the whole apartment into the river, then into the library. At this moment, Guy totally lost it. At least the girl is happy. He saved her and took her to Rome after all. Don't mind the destroyed apartment. David teleports Roland to a cave high and leaves him there, saying Roland should be grateful he didn't drop him at the sharks. David disappears and Roland ends up on an isolated cliff in the Grand Canyon. This place looks like the one where Mufasa died. Time passes. Now it's winter and we see David walk up to some cool looking home and knock. Kristen Stewart answers the door and calls her mom, who is also David's mom. We discovered that his mom is one of the Paladins, and that's why she left him as a child. Yeah, my dad told me the same story when he returned home after finding out that I'm a semi-famous YouTuber. Don't fall for it, boy. He doesn't, and leaves his mom for good. At least Millie is waiting outside. He asks where she wants to go, and she says, "Surprise me." Moral of the story?